Welcome to Health Pod, your self-development hub
on mental health, psychology, and spirituality.
If we have the pill inside of us, then why would we need a pill from anything that's created outside of us?
We are within God, we are within the infinitely loving oneness, and all of the things that we perceive as separate are actually one. To hyper boost your immune system, and if it's really needed, the healthcare system is there.
Letting go of old versions of yourself, of belief systems that don't support you, of society's programming, of having the courage to dig deeper and transmute all those fears.
Anyone who feels like they cannot show the full version of themselves in order to keep the peace in their family or in their environment. Anyone who feels that, I'm sharing this to empower you to be your full self, even if it means that it creates massive chaos all around you, because chaos is temporary. Inauthenticity and lies is chronic and forever.
To begin, welcome back to another episode on Health Pod. I'm Hélène, I'm an empowerment and embodiment coach, and today we are here with Chris Christodoulidis. Chris is an amazing human being, a holistic pharmacist. He has a master's in epigenetics, and he's developing an amazing platform called My New Earth. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I wearing these glasses today? We are here with Chris that will be sharing more about his wonderful self.
Today's episode is sponsored by Nomad, your local experts on sourdough bread, mouth-watering pastry, and specialty coffee. So for those of you that would like to start your day right and get your caffeine fix, Nomad is the place to go. Let's tune back into our wonderful episode.
Chris, welcome on the show.
Hello, Hélène. Thank you so much for having me today. And the story about the glasses, I shared this with you off camera, and we had a good laugh. Okay, let's start off with the story about the glasses.
Yes.
So a few months ago, I had a really profound meditation experience.
Yes.
Amazing.
So I can hear you.
I had a really profound meditation experience where I was doing a solo cacao ceremony in my beautiful energy portal, which is my living room, okay? And I had to move through a few things that were holding me back, some limitations, some energies that just didn't have space in the energy field that I'm intending to create, okay? So I went through that meditation process, and an hour later, I realized that there was a lot that moved through. The next day, I went to work, and I realized that my vision was impaired. I couldn't see as well as I could before the previous day, which was so weird. I never had any vision impairment, and the next day, I just couldn't see properly. It was weird.
What a profound experience.
Yes, it was very weird. But I told myself, you know what? Maybe it's temporary. Allow yourself a few days for your nervous system to calm down, return back to homeostasis, return back to health. I allowed myself a few days. A few days passed by and nothing. The impairment was still there. I was like, okay, maybe we need to see an optician. I went to the optician, got my glasses. They helped me see properly on my laptop, doing my work. Yes, and they also look great. So it was, an aesthetic upgrade. We always love that. And 3 weeks later, I realized that the glasses aren't working anymore. I couldn't see properly with the glasses anymore. Take out the glasses. I look on my laptop. I'm like, oh, wow, my vision is back to normal, which was very strange to me for this acute vision impairment to go down and then heal itself In 3 weeks' time, I removed my glasses.
Incredible.
I love these glasses so much. The design of these glasses.
You may have them back.
And I decided to just give them empty lenses and now wear them aesthetically because they
And
look good.
They do look good. They look really good. They suit you so much. And what an incredible story of the body being able to shift so many upgrades within such a short time period and have the ability to restore, take away your vision and then restore it. It's almost like you had the opportunity to take away something for you to be able to look deeper within yourself. And then you were given back the vision to say, okay, well, this is the new version of you.
Wow. I love that perception. It's as if I was forced to look within for 3 weeks, see less clearly the illusion of the outer world, so that the purity within sits in, settles down, integrates, and then we return back to the world, being able to see the world with a more clear inner eye.
Yeah,
I love it.
absolutely.
But I will remove them because I want to see you clearer.
Okay, Chrismo, I know you, but I don't know you. So I'm really gonna dive deeper into getting to know more about Chris and a little bit about your background. So I know you studied pharmacy, right?
Yes.
To be a pharmacist. But there has been a transition into holistic pharmacy, from what I understand. Could you tell us a little bit about that journey?
Absolutely. So, growing up, I was just fascinated about how, as a pharmacist, you could see, you could see people at their most vulnerable and help them at their most vulnerable, bring them up, empower them, give them love, give them medicine. Because I grew up watching my mom being a pharmacist who gives so much love and compassion to people and is truly there for them to just hold their hand while they're healing more holistically, because she also she embraces both worlds. She has a beautiful balance when it comes to that, both worlds of traditional medicine and herbal medicine. So that inspired me to be a pharmacist because I wanted to help people as well. I studied masters in pharmacy, and for my master's degree of that course, I chose the field of epigenetics.
Okay.
And that was a very profound experience, seeing science prove that your environment, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs not only change your reality, but literally create new protein structures in your body, new neuronal pathways. You literally see the new neuron of a new belief being created in your brain, and you can see that on X-ray and MRI.
Wow.
That's fascinating.
That is amazing.
That changed my world. And by saying environment, it also means your inner environment. By going within and settling down the nervous system to calm down, and you create an environment internally where you envision your best self, your most authentic self, while feeling gratitude for it. There is literally research showing that gratitude for the wish fulfilled or the state fulfilled, as in the envisioning of the embodiment of your authentic self, creates new protein structures in your body that allow you to literally embody it.
To be it.
Yes. Like the DNA factory of your body literally creates new pathways that allow you to be it in a literal way, not in a theoretic woo-woo way, in a literal, grounded, scientifically proven way. That's amazing.
That's so powerful. Powerful to be able to see scientifically, in actual facts, what your mind, what your internal environment is actually doing to you on a cellular level. And, this is groundbreaking research, really, that it gives people the opportunity to understand how powerful we truly are, how much capacity we have. And it's absolutely fascinating that we have access to this. There are so many people that could benefit tremendously from this in order for them to implement a stronger belief around what this visualization, gratitude, manifestation can do to you on a genetic level.
It's beautiful, really. And my intention behind sharing this specific aspect of why this field changed my life is that I want every single one of us to know that there is science proving that you can change into the highest, most authentic expression of yourself. There is science behind that. That allows people, that allows the human brain to know that this is real, because science is the loudest voice. Evidence is the loudest voice because it's tangible. You can see that it exists and it's real. So it is extremely empowering. And another interesting thing, because now
We got the juices flowing.
now you inspired me. The entire pharmaceutical industry is based on randomized controlled trials, RCTs. What is that? Randomized control. Yes, RCTs. RCTs are how a medicine gets approved and it shows that it is functional and it works before it's able to go out into the public. So you have to have an RCT to prove that it's ready to go out there.
Yeah.
What is an RCT? You get two large groups. One of them simply believes that they're taking something that's going to help them.
Like
And the other
placebo.
one, yes. And the other one takes the actual medication.
Yes.
Both of them know that they're taking the same thing. What people don't know about the pharmaceutical industry is that more than 80% of medicines do not get approved by the RCT because...
What was the percentage?
80%.
80%.
Over 80% of medication do not get the approval of the RCT simply because the placebo group has equally high positive effects on their illness. So what I'm saying is, in the majority of cases, when they're doing the RCT, these large experiments, they are proving that both the medicine and both the power of believing that you're healing or overcoming your limitation, in both cases, there's a huge impact on your body. And in both cases, you're overcoming your limitations simply by believing and also by taking the medicine in two different cases.
Wow.
That's powerful.
That is very powerful.
The entire pharmaceutical industry is based on the fact that in the majority of cases, beliefs create reality and help you overcome your limitations. This is important for people to know.
That brings me to another question. Or is it more like a fact? If we have the pill inside of us, then why would we need a pill from anything that's created outside of us?
Honestly, thank you so much for sharing that, because I don't believe in extremities or polarities. Polarities are what divide us. You know, there's the left wing and the right wing, there's the bad and good, but in reality, there's only oneness. We are within God, we are within the infinitely loving oneness, and all of the things that we perceive as separate are actually one. So where I'm going with this is, I believe in allowing traditional healthcare to do its part when needed. If we didn't have antibiotics, our lifespan would be 40, 50 years old maximum. We have important medications that are necessary when needed. And how we should treat traditional healthcare is use it when it's really needed and when everything we tried in the holistic practice, in the alternative medicine practice, hasn't been impactful on the illness that we're experiencing. So, to summarize, live a holistic lifestyle, use alternative medicine, use the power of your brain to hyper boost your immune system. And if it's really needed, the healthcare system is there. But I highly encourage you not to resort to the healthcare system before having tried the pill that is within you.
Yeah, lovely. I think that's that's very encouraging because it reminds us that the power is within us, and if you do need to reach a level, when you do reach a level that you have to then take certain medication, that would sort of be your last resort, not the first. Not your first option. I think a lot of the time what we do is we've made ourselves believe, or society has made us believe, that the fix is in something else.
Yes.
And we chase that. And that's like always having, like a fishing rod hanging, this is how I envision it, in front of you, and you're always chasing it, but you're never going to catch it because you're always running after it, right? So therefore, just to bring that awareness to people, I think is very important. Chris, tell us about My New Earth. So
Yes.
I first found out about you because of your investment, your energy in this specific platform, this incredible platform that allows practitioners like myself to be on and share our gifts, share our services. And how did you come about to develop this concept? What's the why?
That's beautiful. First of all, it's important to say that this beautiful gift that is My New Earth and the gifts that I embody right now, which is my authentic self and my natural charisma, all of this beauty came out of darkness.
As it does.
As it always does, Hélène, right? Isn't it always the case?
Yep.
In
Yes.
every hero movie, in every important story, in every success story, there's a catalyst that is dark.
Yes.
And again, going back to what we said before, there's no such on a higher dimension. Everything is one. But in our human bodies, we do experience the bad, the judgment, the fight or flight. We experience those heavy emotions.
Yes.
So I will tell you the story behind why I went from how I went from extremely depressed and disconnected from reality to embodying my most authentic version of myself and creating something that's extremely meaningful for me and aligns with my purpose as a soul in this human body, having a human experience in this time.
Can't wait to hear.
So this is a story about how when I came out, it went quite bad.
Okay.
It led to severe acute mental illness.
Okay.
And then it turned into the best, most important thing that ever happened for me.
Okay.
This is that story.
Okay. that was a very brief, condensed version of it. If I may, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions around that.
Absolutely.
So I'm very interested. Obviously, we live in a society that everyone pretty much knows everyone over here.
Yes, in Cyprus.
In Cyprus. And coming out is a big thing.
Mm.
Yeah. And it's very courageous of you to be able to represent and be who you are
Mm.
and fully embody that. Was it welcomed in the same way by your environment?
Absolutely not. It's interesting because I believe that we, Stefanos, Hélène, myself, our community of seekers, of personal growers, of spiritual seekers, light workers, whatever you want to call it, the people who want to see beyond the veil.
Yes.
Our community was born different deliberately.
Yeah.
Our soul wanted to be different so that we can break the patterns that have been going on for thousands of years. So did my 21-year-old young, naive, excited self think that he's going to face adversity when he comes out? No. He didn't know that. He didn't realize that. He didn't realize that it's going to be to the extent that I experienced it. Is my 29-year-old self now proud of every single thing I've been through and I understand that everything happened for me? Yes. Yes. Because every single thing that happens, that feels like it happens to us, there's a simple trick that we can do. As soon as you see the trauma, you can put it into a sentence, what happened into one sentence, and then do the exercise of understanding how that thing happened for you. So let's say, for example,
give us an example.
Yes. So if your family and friends and boyfriends were always telling you to be less expressive, to not say certain things, if you felt like you were being overly controlled, and that's the trauma, you can turn that charcoal, that coal, into a diamond. I call it the diamondization process. It's my word. I trademarked it. So you can turn that sentence, that call, into the diamond, which is, the lesson here is that I am here to embody the most self-empowered version of myself. And I am the controller of my destiny, of my authentic self-expression, and of my life. So that's the gift there. And going from victim consciousness into creator consciousness allows you to do the work with gifted practitioners like you and like people who are on the Mind New Earth platform in order for you to embody the gift. It takes time. It takes a lot of release.
Oh, yes. Letting go of old versions of yourself, of belief systems that don't support you, of society's programming, of having the courage to dig deeper and transmute all those fears and limiting beliefs into power, turning pain into purpose.
Grieving the past version of yourself and embodying the new with help, with support. One of the biggest reasons why I am very proud to be a catalyst for this platform, and obviously we're all coming together to bring life to this platform. The intention behind the platform is for people to have real life support to transition into the next version of themselves, to transition into the butterfly from the little, what do you call it? The little caterpillar. Yeah, I was going to say.
Caterpillar to butterfly, coming out the cocoon.
That's it, because it needs real-time support. The pre-recorded sessions platforms are good, right? We know which platforms they are. Mind Valley, Gaia, all of these pre-recorded platforms. But real healing happens with real-time support. But I think I need
Okay.
to go back to the story
I'm,
because you
I'm,
asked
I'm
me.
about to take you back there. So before we developed the app, we've had somewhere in there. There's been a transformational experience. This is your cocoon turning into the
Yes.
butterfly, right? So let's touch upon that. Boom. I see you watching. I see you watching and really enjoying this episode. So if you're this far through the episode, make sure that you like and subscribe. It really helps our channel. Thank you. You transforming from this caterpillar into this beautiful butterfly and going deeper into your transformational process. You mentioned that coming out wasn't received well in your environment and that it led to acute mental health issues. Could you elaborate a little bit more about that?
With pleasure.
With pleasure, yes. Good.
Okay. So first of all, I just want to say for anyone who doesn't know the word acute, it means for a specific time period. It's not chronic. It's not forever. It was for a specific time period. That's what acute means in the medical world. When I was 20 years old, I had a huge psychedelic experience with psilocybin mushrooms, a plant medicine that has a lot of research behind it showing its beautiful effects on mental health. I took a hero dose because I was an extremely confident, cocky 20-year-old. So there's low, medium, high, and hero dose, right? That experience exposed me to all my fears times 1,000. And the only way out was to surrender into it. I had to surrender. Coming out of that experience, that profound trip changed me forever. I knew that right there and then that I am confident to be all of me. I was able to embody my most authentic self and I felt comfortable with my sexuality for the first time in my life. Before that trip, I was even suppressing the thought. Yes. So that experience was profound. A few years passed by where I was just like exploring who I am and seeing what my authenticity feels like without limitations in the UK where I was studying. I remember at the end of third year of university, I came back to Cyprus and I came out to one of the most important figures in my life and thinking that it would be accepted, but it went quite wrong.
Okay.
There was rejection to the point where different aspects of my livelihood were threatened.
Okay.
To the point that I had to quieten down and not be fully not fully embody my truth because I saw that there were real life intense consequences that were happening.
Okay. Like?
Things that would affect my career afterwards.
Okay.
So taking a step back made me basically want to disconnect from everything and everyone in order to make sure that I survive, that I create my own way out of this culture, of this Cypriot ecosystem,
Yes.
so that I can be in a place where career-wise and location-wise, I can be my fullest, most authentic expression. Because I was putting so much pressure on myself in order to escape and in order to be in a place where I'm living and embodying my truth, I started developing symptoms of depersonalization. This is essentially a manic depression with feelings of being disconnected from your body and from reality to an extent.
Okay, and how does that show up?
It shows up as extreme depression and also the disconnection from your surroundings, disconnection from
Okay.
reality,
Mhm.
which was extremely difficult.
Mm.
My spirit, my awareness
Mm.
was so not aligned with the what I was experiencing in my body, and
Okay.
how I was how much I was allowing myself to be my full self, that this disconnection started like showing up more and more.
Mm.
I remember very clearly, I was in London when I started experiencing these symptoms.
Mhm.
I was finishing my pre-registration year, my practice year in pharmacy. And towards the end, I was trying so hard to pass the exam so that I can be a pharmacist in the UK and start my new life,
Mhm.
that I started developing a weird relationship with the mirror.
Okay.
I would look in the mirror
Mhm.
and it would feel disturbing. Not because I don't look fantastic, but because I just experience on a fundamental level,
Mhm.
the foundation of who I was. I felt this profound disconnection with the person in the mirror, because the
Okay.
person in the mirror wasn't embodying his truth.
Uh-huh.
And this is not like a thought. This
Mm.
was a fundamental mental state of being. It was just a disconnection.
Okay.
I didn't pass my pre-reg exam by 0.1%.
Ooh.
70% was the pass mark. 69.9% was what I got,
Mhm.
which was the universe's way.
Oh.
Crazy, right?
Oh.
It was the universe's way of saying, you know your shit, but you gotta go back and deal with the other shit. Back to your base, back to Cyprus.
Mm.
So I moved back to Cyprus.
Okay.
Depersonalization got worse and worse and worse and worse. I reached a point where like I couldn't even speak properly because of how difficult this mental condition was.
Mm.
I felt like a piece of shit. I felt like my existence doesn't matter and shouldn't be like that. It just shouldn't be the way it is.
Mm.
And the universe was speaking to me in the synchronicity ways, in the number ways,
Yes.
in
Mhm.
random synchronicities, as we all see.
Mhm.
When I would have the faintest thought of fully coming out and claiming my true self and
Yes.
identity, as soon as these thoughts would pass by my head, the universe would affirm it hard. 888, 444, synchronicities everywhere. I would just receive constantly validation that this is where you need to be
That's your
going.
direction. This is
No.
where you need to go.
Yeah. At a time where I had zero support. I didn't say anything to anyone about what I was going through within me, because I felt like I was going crazy. It didn't feel like it was acute at the time. It felt like it was a permanent state of being. So I couldn't say it to anyone. I thought that I would literally be shunned because people would feel like I'm crazy. So I chose to keep it myself.
This is what I was going to ask you, obviously, because My New Earth is such an important platform to have that support. Did you feel like you had that support, and how did you find that support at the time when there was no My New Earth?
I love that. So the first version of this platform was called Conscialing, which comes from the words creating a conscious link between us and within us. So between you and me and all of us, and our mental, emotional, spiritual self, so within us.
Yes.
So this idea came about when I was going through a really hard time at the pre-reg in London, when I started experiencing these emotions. And I was working on this platform more and more and more to escape
Okay.
when I went back to Cyprus.
How many years ago have you been working on this platform?
So
Parenthesis.
the idea, I love a good parenthesis. The idea came out, but the primary idea was a conscious social experience.
Okay.
The way the platform is now, was an idea that got solidified almost 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And we went from ideation, working with some of the best developers in Cyprus, to creating the app, and now launching it and having you beautiful people on the platform. Intention of having your gifts being accessible globally so that we can help many people globally.
Fabulous. Yes.
So
going back to
the story.
the story.
These feelings were becoming worse and worse. My
Yes.
condition was worsening. So I decided that I had two choices. Either to stay in inauthenticity and lies, or to choose my full expression. If it means that I'm going to sacrifice everything I ever built, all the relationships I ever had, just to follow my truth. And I chose red pill. Is that what the Matrix says?
Yes.
Red pill? I chose the red pill. I chose the path of authenticity. So what I did was I packed my bags and I booked a one-way ticket to London, where my friend was waiting for me to host me and have me for a bit of time. And I made the choice to come clean, tell everyone who wasn't aligned with my truth and who had a judgment towards my truth that, listen here, this is me. This is just one aspect of me. This is actually the least interesting thing about me. I am so many other things that are extremely interesting. But whoever has anything less than infinite love for me and for all of me, and anything who not only tolerates me, but anyone who doesn't celebrate me for who I am, has no space in my life. And I made the ultimatum. I told everyone who was iffy about my full self that this is it. If you want to be my life, I want you all in or all out, baby. I'm sorry. I don't need half-ins into my circle. And I made the decision, and that was very freeing, because the people who initially rejected me fully had time to process what I told them. And when I did fully own my truth, they were ready to accept me for who I am and celebrate me. And they had time to heal, and it was very important, very healing for me to hear the approval. But the gift was that by that time, I was already starting to only base my mental health on my self-approval. Yes.
And forming connections, I suppose, around you that were for your best interests. A lot of the times when we embody our higher self, our most authentic self, we have to come to terms with the idea that you also need to let go of a lot of people around you that don't support that version of you.
Yes.
And because we've been conditioned to have those people for how many years, or for our experiences in that part of our life, it's very difficult to let go of. But well done to
Thank you.
for embodying the highest version of you, and to have the courage, to have the strength, to have the knowing within yourself to just say, hey, you know what, world, this is who I am. You're not going to get another version of Chris. You're just going to get the version of me that I want to be. I don't care what you've told me to be. I don't care what I should be, but this is who I want to be.
Yes.
Did you find that through this process, you were already starting to feel better through your mental health, your acute mental health experience? Were you feeling better in yourself by embodying this new version of you?
So after fully coming clean, it was extremely empowering. It was cathartic to be like, this is me, but not just sexuality wise, but all of me.
Yeah.
This is me, the person who has strong opinions, is authentic, is polarizing, looks different than the average Cypriot, looks different than the average human, embodies their most authentic self, and is proud, loud, authentic, and passionate. It's all of it. So it was claiming all of me back to my own self, back to my soul's inherent unconditional approval of who I am. And what you said before, so my intention of me sharing my story of how I went from adversity to empowerment is to empower everyone who feels like they need to shrink, anyone who feels like they cannot show the full version of themselves in order to keep the peace in their family or in their environment. Anyone who feels that, I'm sharing this to empower you to be your full self, even if it means that it creates massive chaos all around you, because chaos is temporary. Inauthenticity and lies is chronic and forever. You do not want that. Allow the chaos to unfold for a little bit, but at least you know that you're being the highest, truest version of yourself. And let's be real. The universe wants you to embody authenticity.
Yes.
And every time you don't, it gives you a slap.
It does.
If you don't respond to the slap, it gives you a little punchy punch. If you don't respond to the punch, it throws a brick on your head. And the universe sends us signals, and we need to be very aware of what they are, learn the lessons and move on, because the new earth is coming. We have a huge global consciousness shift of our human species.
Yeah, it's very evident. It's very loud. It's everywhere by now. And seeing people like you bringing your own gifts into the space is also a beautiful creation, where we can see, that what we see a lot of is, because people become spiritually awakened, everyone has this idea that they all need to become life coaches or they need to do healing work. But, even someone who is cooking a bread, that consciousness comes into formation and then goes into our bodies. So to see you be able to bring that through an app, which for me, technology is a bit like, right? Okay. And to be able to see that, I think, is a beautiful reminder to us that we can all bring our gifts in our own way to support and enhance the awakening, our own awakening, and the awakening of the earth.
Beautifully said. I love it. You said it beautifully, because you could be it's all about the intention. If your intention is to nourish people and you bake a cake that's truly nourishing, that is organic, maybe raw, that has like a lot of plant-based elements, maybe it has some superfoods inside. Your intention to nourish will literally create something that nourishes people. So it doesn't matter what it is. Find your passion and allow it to be a vehicle for transformation and for God to shine through.
Yes.
That's all that is.
Yeah.
And to go back to what you asked me before about the creation of My New Earth. Through when I did go to London, after I fully came clean and I owned my power and my truth, I started working really deep in my own mental health, in my spiritual health, in grounding my body into reality, into my body, because it was literally, my consciousness was not in my body. So I had to do yoga, I had to do a lot of mindful walking to ground myself. Just a side note, as soon as I moved to the UK, a few weeks later, COVID hit.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
But that was a gift from the universe for me, not to humanity. Humanity was shaken, actually. Actually, I retract. It was also a gift to humanity.
I was going to say.
Even though there was a lot of pain that happened and a lot of deaths, which are very unfortunate. And I'm really sorry to everyone who had to experience that. Humanity was forced to pause and look within. A lot of people broke up during COVID.
Yes.
A lot of people like
Lost their minds from staying at home so long that they, work was taken away. They lost their purpose. So
they lost the thing that was giving the purpose outside their body.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They lost the thing that was making them feel worthy externally.
And distracted.
Nah.
Yeah. The distraction was taken away.
Beautiful. It was like, it essentially allowed us all to see who we are without the distraction and who we are without the projects of worthiness.
How did that impact you?
So I was in the UK and I was trying to find a job, and a week later, COVID hit, and the universe blessed me with a benefits fund from the government. The government was sending me just thousands of pounds per month to just be, because COVID did not allow people to work, right?
Okay.
So the government was sending money to people who applied to get the benefits.
Okay.
So the gift was, I was in the UK, in London, close to what's the park in North London, the forest. It will come back to me, but I was in a beautiful place where I was literally getting paid to be and to heal. So for 6 months straight, I worked really hard on my mental, emotional, spiritual health, my physical health, and I reclaimed my power. I embodied my authenticity with personalized meditation, where I would affirm the truest version of myself in each different energy center while being at the most calm nervous system state possible, so that I can really code my truth in my DNA in each and every energy center. And at that point, I was working on my new earth. So after coming back to Cyprus in June 2020, I went to my first cacao ceremony.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I experienced for the first time not doing personal work, inner work on my own. It was my first experience of allowing external support to come in. Cacao ceremonies, Reiki healing, more cacao ceremonies, group plant medicine experiences. All of these holistic alternative wellness experiences made me realize that even though I reached a certain high level point with my own inner work, allowing people to support me, allowing practitioners of holistic, spiritual, alternative wellness to support me, took me to the next level, which is why I went all in on My New Earth. My New Earth,
I see.
Yes. My New Earth is a platform where you can find alternative, holistic, and spiritual support so that you can go to the next level, so that you can get what you deserve. And you deserve nothing less than being your truest, most authentic expression of yourself. You deserve more love, more abundance, more nourishing relationship, more freedom. And it's only when you embody those qualities within that you see them reflected outside. And with real-time support, you can truly integrate those states of being within you so that they can reflect all around you. That's it.
Beautiful, beautiful. What really touched me with what you said is being able and being open to receiving the support. A lot of the times we try and do so much by ourselves. We try and experience everything without asking for help. And to be able to have the support of people who have this experience, to hold your hand, to literally say, you know what, I'm listening to you. I'm all in. I'm here with you. Your experience and your ability to be able to process whatever you are going through, call it life, call it a transformation, call it a negative, I wouldn't say negative, a deep, painful experience. To have that support is essential. And it's a reminder to myself and to anyone who's listening that to be able to reach out for support on your journey is essential, because we're not meant to do this alone. And to have a platform like My New Earth where we can find more people who are doing this kind of work is incredible. And that you persisted with that vision that you had from the beginning until today where the app is out. So I've watched your process as well, which I love. I love seeing the ideation all the way to having this app accessible and tangible, that people get to experience it. Now, for anyone that wants to know more about the app, where can we get hold of it? Is it
Amazing.
available on all platforms?
Yes. So whether you're an Android person or an Apple person, it's available in every single app store. You can just type now My New Earth and find it on your app stores. And when you download it with intention, knowing what you want to receive and what you're open to receiving, the platform will show you exactly what you need and who you need to support you in your empowerment, embodiment, self-love, and trauma healing journey. It's all about being open to transform, knowing that you deserve more. You deserve way more than what you're experiencing right now. More love, more freedom, more abundance. And this is a platform where you have real-time support, which is the highest, most effective way to embody a version of yourself that deserves to attract more. And thank you for being part of the platform. Honestly, thank you so much. And it's exciting to be coming together as one for a greater intention. This is not about me. This is not about Chris Christodoulidis. This is not about me. It's about a greater intention.
Yes.
It's about the fact that the new earth is coming to life. New earth is a concept in spirituality where it describes a version of humanity that's more loving, more wise, more kind, more connected in infinitely loving unity. And it's becoming our reality slowly but steadily. It's not going to shift from here to that in one night.
Yep.
It will require us to face more of our darkness.
Yes.
To understand the programs that are keeping us in division, in judgment, in hate. Yeah. And the more we shed light to those dark parts of ourselves, the more we are able to shift into that version of reality. Because when you accept the darkness within you, you start innately accepting it in everyone and showing more compassion.
Yes.
The extent to which you can see people is the depth that you've seen within you.
Yourself. Absolutely.
Can I say something controversial?
Go on.
Very controversial. I believe that the solution to the Israel-Palestine war is sending love to the Israeli politicians who are starting the war. You know why? Because in the absence of love, there is darkness. And if we send love to the inner child that hasn't been held by the people who are creating war, those people would have zero urge, would feel way too loved to initiate war, to create murder, to instruct murder to happen. So it's counterintuitive. You want to hate those parties, right?
Yes, but instead of doing that and sending more a darkness to it and feeding off that monster, quite the contrary. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you'd like to dive deeper into your own personal development and tap into your most authentic self, you can book a one-on-one session with me. You'll be able to find the details in the description here below. I look forward to chatting with you. One last question, Chrismo. Who is Chris without the titles, without My New Earth?
That's beautiful. Chris is, first of all, Chris is just the way for my soul to have this experience. I just want a quick parenthesis is that ego is not the enemy. Ego is how we experience this reality. Εγώ είμαι ο τάδε. This means I am this, I am that. Without having the εγώ, there is no persona to experience this reality. You have to maneuver your way through this reality with an εγώ, with a persona. So Chris is an infinitely loving soul having a human experience as Chris Christodoulidis. Chris is a very passionate individual. He just wants to laugh. He wants to love. He wants to just connect. He's so eager to connect that he gets that his intentions get misinterpreted. He comes off a lot to people initially, and then they see that, oh, okay, that's who he is actually. He is a very enthusiastic person. I loved at mind, body, and spirit when you came up to me. When you came up to...
Go on, say it.
This is hilarious. You came up to me at the spiritual festival in Cyprus called MBS, and you said, Chris, I get it now. I get it. This is just who you are. You're eccentric like us. That's why we love you. You being Stefanos and Hélène. And I loved that. Yeah. I saw you saying that, and I was like, what a compliment. Yeah. What a compliment to be embodying a very authentic version of myself. Yes. That's what eccentricity is. It's just you being all in on your truest expression.
And whoever likes it, likes it. Take it or leave it. You know? Woohoo!
I love it. And whoever gets triggered by it.
Exactly. That is essential. That is essential. There's so many people around us that get triggered by who we are. But that's also the beauty of you being able to hold that light, to be able to embody that and remind them that, hey, I'm actually giving you permission to be more of you. And the more I get to be me, if it's triggering you, that means do a little bit of digging, look at it a little bit deeper, you know, unbox this without just judging it. Bring more light to it, more love to it. And hopefully that gives them the permission, the encouragement to be the most authentic version of themselves, because that's what we need more of in this world. We need more light within us that represents us, whatever our unique blueprint is for each individual person.
Sacred, beautiful.
And on that note, thank you so much, Chrisma, for being here. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for being part of this amazing episode, and we're going to see you soon. Ciao. Thank you so much for watching this episode. It's been an absolute pleasure filming it for you guys. If you like the work that we are putting out into the world, please make sure you like this video and you subscribe to our channel. It really helps the work that we do.
And if you would like to follow our journey on our IG account, as well as learn more about our services, we provide everything for you in the description below. Thanks for watching.